with AJ Jacobson from Rivals.
Okay, cool.
Drew, I asked Coach Cristobal the other day, I said, name some things that have been standing out to you in fall camp here. And one of the first things he mentioned was, he said, under the leadership of Dru Mathis, the linebacking core has been excellent, et cetera, et cetera. But why did he phrase it like that? What have you been doing to make him say that to us?
Well, first I want to give props to Isaac Slade. He's also a very, very big leader in the linebacker core. But me and him have just been really working with the younger boys, and taking them under our wing and just teaching them, the defense and schemes and stuff like that, and doing extra work. Sometimes when we have off days, we'll just tell them, we'll be at the facility going over some corrections if you want to come, and they'll come, and we'll kind of just take them under our wing and teach them everything they need to know.
Next question comes from James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Drew, with Isaac moving over to the weak side, just what goes into that for you in terms of making the calls at middle line? I know that it's not mutually exclusive. I mean, you talk to each other and the like, but just what goes into playing at middle, and how comfortable are you over there?
For sure goes a lot with, making calls and adjustments and stuff. Isaac does a great job helping me out with that stuff, because I am sort of new to it, but it's something I got to, improve on in talking and communicating. And if I said I had to work on something, it'd definitely be more communicating. When I get out there a lot, I kind of, sometimes get quiet a little bit, or, let Isaac do the talking and stuff. But when I remind myself to communicate, I do a well job doing it. It's just something I got to, continue to keep improving on and whatnot.
Next question, Ryan Thorburn, the Register Guard.
Hey, Drew. Speaking of leadership, what are some of the main takeaways you learned playing with and observing Troy Dye?
A lot from his actions. I mean, he's a man of his actions for sure. When you watch him play, he's a playmaker. He knows the defense. That's someone who really knew everything. He rarely messed up, and he was definitely a leader by example for sure, and what he did. And he taught me a lot too with talking, and just kind of he saw me, and I'd kind of go out there and be real nervous to mess up, and when you play nervous, you do mess up. So he would always remind me to just go out there and just be calm and do everything, in a calm manner. Because when you play calm ball, you can really concentrate on things, and you won't really mess up. And, that's something he would always, rephrase to me and tell me,
Next question goes to Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Yeah, Drew, I'm just kind of curious, what did you learn from this scrimmage and about this defense, and what's kind of the carryover to the one on Saturday? What do you want to see improve?
I'd say one thing I want to improve, obviously communicating. I want to communicate more, and, communicate is definitely a big one. Maybe some pass coverages and drops and stuff. When I drop to the boundary and some of our coverages and stuff, just knowing, on where my landmark is and where I need to get to. And, when a new number goes out, someone's coming in, and just more of, techniques and fundamentals and stuff. And just always priding myself on just being aggressive and tackling and finishing plays and running to the ball. And, really just run into the ball. And at the end of the day, I just want to leave the field knowing that I gave them all, and I didn't, loaf or kind of give it half a job or something like that. I just really want to give it my all. So that's what I've been really working on.
Next question, Julian Minenson from KZI.
Hey, Drew, thanks for doing this. Just wanted to ask you, what were your biggest, I think, things that you wanted to improve on from this offseason, and especially it being so different than in years past, going into this year, knowing that you were going to be one of the older guys in that linebacking core?
Obviously for off-season stuff, getting bigger, stronger, faster. And coming from a, football perspective, just knowing the schemes better and knowing the defense well. When I first started playing, I was playing Will, so I kind of adjusted back to Mike. So it's something I got the bread and the butter of the position. It's just little small details I need to continue to keep improving on, and just it's small stuff. It's small stuff I know. Like if I mess up, I know what I did and I can correct myself. It's just going out there and not making those mess ups. So that's something I got to really work on, because I can go out there and you know, my play. If I do something wrong, Coach Wilson doesn't even really have to tell me. I can sit there and tell him what I did wrong. So I know I know what I have to do. Is just when I go on the field, I just got to eliminate all those little mistakes that I do make when I'm out there.
Question, Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Hey, Drew. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You know, at this mic spot here, who are some guys that are challenging you for playing time, and kind of what's that competition been like? I know it's a mix of older and younger guys.
Who I know who's getting twos and also works with ones is Noah Sewell, and he's doing a great job. He's going to be great, a great athlete. He's picking things up real well too, and we even help each other out and stuff. It's never it's competing, but I mean at the same time we both work with each other. He always asks me questions, and I always ask him questions sometimes, and it's like I take him under my wing, and he'll ask me what he has on this, and our lockers are like right next to each other. So in the morning when we're in the playbook and stuff, and before meetings, we'll always kind of quiz each other for we know what we're gonna do when we go out on that field, even on walkthroughs and stuff like that. Like it's never bad blood or nothing. We're good friends, and we both help each other out, and we always push each other. Whenever anyone makes plays, we go up to each other and let them, hey, that was a nice play. You did good on this and that. And if you mess up, like, hey, what was the call? Okay, it was that. You did this. You're supposed to do that. It's always good and always encouraging with each other.
Next question, AJ Jacobson from Rivals.
Drew, I remember when I scouted Noah Sewell and Justin Flo when they were in high school, and I thought to myself, man, they're ready to play. They're ready to go. How close do you think those two young freshmen are to being ready to play Pac-12 football?
Very close. Yeah, they're very close. I don't really see them waiting any time, any long. Justin's been, doing great on special teams and stuff. And when he gets in on those reps, he's always very aggressive, and we just have to remind him to stay up, because he loves to hit, and that's good being at linebacker. So I think they're both very close, and they will see playing time this year. So it's going to be exciting to see them both play.
Next question comes from James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Drew, stylistically, between the two inside linebacker positions, I know even when we saw you play last season and when Troy was out at times, that's a really much more downhill position. Whereas Mike, like you talk about dropping into coverage, I mean, Isaac led the country at linebacker and passes defended. So how much more are you going to be asked to drop into coverage compared to, being downhill when you're on the weak side?
Obviously a lot, a lot of it is passing, going into coverage and stuff. So that's good though, because it's something I can improve on. So I think playing Mike will be good. I've got a couple interceptions, being at the right place. Today I had one off a tip ball. Jamal Hill did a great job just kind of breaking the pass up, and I was right there at the right time. So and it's fun. I like dropping back into coverage. It's fun. Being able to be back there and, be able to try and get the ball and make an interception or make a play on the ball or make a big time hit. So it's something I'm getting more comfortable with, but, it's something I still need to improve on. And Coach Wilson, Coach Avalos are doing a great job working with me. I know their patients are real, like, they're real patient with me. And if I mess up, they always explain, you got to do this, you got to do that, which is really helping me too. And all these walkthroughs and just repetitions and practice after practice, that's what's really going to get me, ready for these games and stuff. And it's been good.
Next question comes from Brandon Gibson of Rivals.
Hey, Drew. You already caught most of the question I was going to ask as far as freshman linebacker go when you talked to AJ, but could you comment a little bit on the other two guys, Jaden and Jackson, and how they're sort of progressing?
They're doing good. Jackson's also another guy who likes to hit. And Jaden is as well. He's a very physical dude. They're both physical. And I think all our younger athletes and younger linebackers, they like to hit and they're aggressive. So that's going to be, a bonus for us as a defense. And, they're doing great. They're both smart players, and they're picking up the scheme well and everything. So just with more practice and stuff, they're going to be very dominant in this, and they should be also see playing time this year as well.
Next, Matt Preem from 247 Sports.
Yeah, Drew, what can you tell us about this offensive line and 5 new starters, and what have you seen from this group?
I've seen leadership for sure. Alex Forsythe and Ryan Walk and George Moore, they do a good job, making sure everyone's up on their A game and keeping everybody up. And when times are tough, they always remind each other to stay up and stuff. So that's good. But for sure, yeah, they're doing a good job. Coach Maribal is a great coach, and Coach Cristobal is a great coach. And our O-line will never be a worry for us because of those two coaches. They won't let that slide. So that's why I never lose hope in our O-line, because Coach Cristobal and Coach Maribal will never let us have a decent O-line. He's always going to push them to be great. So that's another great thing.
Next question belongs to James Crapia, the Oregonian.
I just wanted to really go back a minute. Tell us a little bit more about you and your story, man, because how you got here. My understanding was obviously you started at San Diego State. From reading up on you a little bit, you followed your brother there. Obviously, then went to JUCO, and not a program known for producing a lot of guys out of the JUCO ranks. And from my understanding, you also have like a 4.0 GPA. And how old did you get here, man? You were a late addition. Like, you got offered, and I think you signed like 2 weeks later. You originally like favoring Baylor. Like, how'd all this go down, man?
I don't know. It was crazy. Like you said, I started off at San Diego State out of high school, and I kind of felt like I went there because my brother was there. I thought it'd be cool to, be there with my brother. And then, he was a senior. So after his year, I went up, and when I was going into my sophomore year, I was, that's when I kind of realized that, hey, I came here because of my brother, and I kind of wanted to do my own thing. So I decided to go JUCO. And I went to Mopark, and the reason I did choose Mopark because there's Ventura College, right down the street from me, and they're a great JUCO. But I had family. My uncle was coaching at Mopark, and I had another mentor that was coaching there too. So I thought it'd be a great fit, and I think it'd be good to keep me away from my friends when I was, being in junior college, stay focused and whatnot. So I decided to go to Mopark, and yeah, I mean, they don't really produce athletes like that, but it's a great coaching staff, and they're always going to do their best to try and get you out. So that was another great, advantage to have there. And started getting offers. Definitely was considering Baylor. And then, Coach Hayward and Court Dennison at the time had reached out to me and told me to come take an unofficial. So I came on unofficial, and then after that unofficial, I committed.
Next question, AJ Jacobson from Rivals.
You've had a number of linebacker coaches in your career. So just talk about Coach Ken Wilson and what it's like playing for him and having him in charge of your unit.
He's a great man. He's a great dude. I love Coach Wilson. He is very nice. I mean, he's not really mean. He's not a mean dude. He likes to help. He's a hardworking man. He's there real early in the morning and doesn't leave till real late. And him and our GA Jace does a really great job, making sure we have the correct notes on all our cut-ups and just extra stuff. He'll hold optional meetings if we want to attend on Zoom earlier in the day. And I mean, a lot of us attend and get, more extra work in and whatnot. And they both do a great job just giving us all extra information that we need. And he'll always, give us a little feel for how the next practice is going to be, what we're going to call, what we're going to run, what we're going to see from the offense. So he always does a great job kind of, keeping us up to date with everything. And he's definitely a hardworking man. And he's definitely the reason why I'm, improve. I feel like I'm improving. So that's a good thing. Him and Coach Avalos and Coach Jace Parker.
Next question, back to James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Yeah, just to follow up on what we were last talking about, Drew. If I told you like 3-4 years ago, hey, you're going to be the starting middle linebacker for the reigning Pac-12 champions, I mean, like, how hard to believe is kind of the position that you've managed to find yourself in? Like, as much confidence as like you have in yourself and your ability, like, again, like go back a couple of years ago when you're at San Diego State, or maybe even back to high school, and then say like, this is where you find yourself now. Like, how unforeseen is this for you?
It's big for sure. I still kind of wake up and think like, man, I'm at Oregon. My older brother Dru Mathis, this was his dream school, so I'm kind of living his dream through. He kind of gets to dream it a little bit too, because we're both brothers, and he always calls me and comes down here and stuff, and I'm able to walk him through the facilities and stuff. So it's exciting for him, and it's exciting for me as well. And if you guys would have told me this when I was back at San Diego State, I don't think I would have believed it at all, especially when I went back to JUCO. There were some times I thought I made the worst decision. And I just kept, believing in myself and working hard and, doing extra stuff and just working with coaches and making sure I was in the weight room and whatnot and getting my film out. And that's when, things started looking up right for me. And I had coaches at San Diego State tell me that I probably made the worst decision of my life, leaving them to go JUCO. And they were telling me that, it's not likely for a kid to go back D1 after leaving a Division I program, and JUCO is not for me and stuff like that. And I mean, I feel like God just had a vision for me, and I had a vision for myself because even my family was telling me that I should probably just stay, and they were kind of nervous with the situation of me coming back home. But, if you have dreams, I mean, and you work to fulfill those dreams every day, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Appreciate it, Dru. Nice job.
Yes, sir.
We're done with you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.